I am gonna mix an entire 12-song album in only 4 days, and you're about to see how.
Hi, my name is Nathan James Larsen, and I gave myself a crazy challenge of producing, mixing, and releasing over 50 songs in 1 year. And once I finish this album, I'll be at 15 songs finished, so I am well on pace to do that. I'm documenting the entire process from beginning to end, so if you want to follow along in the journey, you can watch the episodes in the top corner right there.
It is Tuesday right now, and I have to get going on mixing this entire album because it has to be done by the end of this week. The record I'm mixing is for my album called Risen, which is a collection of mostly traditional hymns that I'm doing in an almost soundtrack, epic, big cinematic way.
I started by deciding the order that I'm going to mix the songs by spending some time thinking through which songs would give me the best kickstart first and start there. With 12 songs to mix, I need to make sure I'm mixing a minimum of 3 songs per day, but I want to see how I'm doing as the week goes on, and if I can get more done each day, I will. Let's get started.
All right, it's time to start the very first song, Blessed Assurance. Song number 1, my goal is to get this sounding as incredible as possible so I can pull this in as a reference track for the rest of the album. So let's get this started with a bang. Let's get to work.
Now, obviously, I'm not going to show you the whole mix session, but the vast majority of the time spent here was simply volume automation and then vocal processing, and it only took 45 minutes to get a first mix on this song.
Boom! Very first song, mix number 1 done in about 45 minutes. The automation on here is pretty wild. There's a crazy amount of automation, and this is the one thing with anything involving orchestras is that if you want to draw out certain lines or melodies or counter melodies or whatever, you got to automate all that stuff. Take a look at this. This is just strings right here. That's all the automation on the brass. That's just part of the game. I'm gonna give my ears a break, get some breakfast, I'll come back and we'll start the next song. Whew! All right, took a little bit of a breather, about a 45-minute break. It's time to start mix number 2, and that is Be Thou My Vision. Let's go! Boom! Look at that, 40 minutes on the dot. 40 minutes on the dot to get a first draft mix on Be Thou My Vision. I'm so happy about this. I feel like having a reference point and already having pretty much a vocal chain in mind, specifically for Sailor's vocals. That's why I want to start with Sailor's stuff because I think I'm more familiar with her voice. I'm gonna use that as a base, as a foundation, as a means to mix all the rest of the songs based on that. So a lot of the work that I did in Blessed Assurance, I can essentially carry into every other mix that I'm working on. There are differences. This is a little more wet on the reverbs at the beginning. So it's not like this is all sounding the same. There are creative choices in every single song that is song specific, but my goodness. Now, as the day goes on, my ears are just gonna drop off. So I'm gonna take a break for maybe the next hour, let my ears completely reset. The next song that we are mixing is Were You There When They Crucified My Lord, which I sing. I'm gonna take a breather. We'll be back soon. Okay, it is time to start the third song we need to mix. We're knocking them out. We are knocking them out. It is early afternoon, and we're gonna just crush this. I have the session pulled up and just looking at it, I don't think this is gonna take terribly long. It's already sounding really good. I really think this whole album is actually, it's mostly just automation. I feel like tonally and frequency-wise, everything is where it needs to be. I think everything was done really well production-wise to make it, so it's gonna be really easy to mix. So I'm gonna shut up now and just mix this one. Let's do it.
Were you there when they rolled the stone away? Were you there when they rolled?
Boom, boom, boom. Let's go. Mix number 3 is in the books. This one, honestly, I'm actually blown away at how fast this is all happening. Just a ton of automation, just automation. That's just the name of the game with this. You know what? I'm just gonna go ahead and show you. Let me just show you. Okay, this is what everything looks like right now. Look at this. Look at how few plugins. Obviously, this is the vocals right here. It's literally like 1 EQ and then 2 compressors and then reverb. This is all the backup vocals. This is the lead vocal. But check this out. Look at all of the automation that I have here on the strings. This is all the volume automation. This is all the brass and stuff. So I'm just gonna mute out the vocals. I'm gonna show you how big of a difference this makes. Let's just take a look at this section in here. Right here, cello. Like, if you listen to this part with no automation of the cello, I'm just gonna pull this down. Listen to how big of a difference this makes. Yeah, this da 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 da. It's a really cool line. Watch what happens when we just crank the crap out of it. It's allowing things to come in and come out, and the counter melodies are there, the melodies are there, the writing is there, but it's a matter of getting things to come out and pop out in front of you. That took 30 minutes. That only took 30 minutes to do that. Oh, I'm so happy about this. This whole thing is making me so happy. Okay, so I am halfway tempted to start song number 4, but I'm just gonna give myself a break. It's a marathon, it's not a sprint, so I'm gonna come at it hard tomorrow, and we're gonna rock and roll tomorrow. We'll see you then. Alrighty. Okay, it is day 2 of mixing this full-length album. We already have a first draft mix on 3 of the 12 songs. I'm starting the next 3, which I've already got the first one pulled up here. I need to color code everything. I've already committed and printed everything to audio here. And if you want to see all the crazy detail that goes into mixing, I have all of that inside of Producer Accelerator, which is my full course. As of right now, we have 5 full mix sessions completely unedited for you to see. So my goal is to get the first 3 songs mixed this morning. So we're gonna start with this one. I need the every hour. I genuinely think that I might be able to get a mix done in 30 minutes on this one. This one already sounds killer.
I did not get this entire mix done in one sitting because it was about that time for me to get breakfast, but I spent half an hour and got the vast majority of the work done.
All right, there we go. 30 minutes on the dot. I'm not done, but I do need to take a break because I need to get some food. But really good shape. I love this song. This is a great song too. Simple but effective. I'm gonna go get some food and then I'm gonna come back and finish this. Let's go. All right, so breakfast is done. I actually exported the mix that I have so far, just so I could compare it to, Blessed Assurance and Be That My Vision and the other one. And actually, sounding pretty good. So I don't think this should take too much longer. I'm gonna go ahead and pull up my my AB plugin. It's the Plugin Alliance plugins like Metric AB or something. I'm gonna pull in a couple of the other mixes so I can start comparing, make sure the vocals are sitting where I want them to sit. The way the vocals are sitting on Be That My Vision is perfect, so I'm gonna be using that as my primary reference. I should be able to finish this in the next 15 to 20 minutes. Let's do it. All right, got that done. That took just a little shy of 20 minutes. It's sounding great. It's sounding really, really good. Like just what I did now, what I did just now took a pretty decent leap upward, just got things sounding a little bit more like Be That My Vision, volume-wise. The things to kind of keep in mind when you're mixing a record like this where you have multiple vocalists is you can't try to get every vocal to sound like every other vocal. Like Nika has such a different voice than Sailor. Like, take a listen to Sailor's voice for a second here. And now let's take a listen to Nika's voice. Significant difference. So there's no way that we're gonna try to make those vocals sound the same. Nika has a very breathy voice, Sailor has a little bit more of a punchy voice. So I'm not gonna try to get their vocals to sound the same. That's literally impossible by nature of the fact that they're 2 different people. So the goal instead is to try to get the volumes about where they're supposed to be. I wanna make it so that if you're listening from one song to the next, it's not jarring where you're like, the vocals are way louder in one and a lot more tucked in the other. So I'm trying to make decisions more oriented around consistency of volume and timbre overall when it comes to the orchestra and the instrumental. So while I'm letting my ears take a little bit of a rest, I'm gonna go ahead and pull up the next session, get that mix session completely ready to go ahead and color code, do all the things that I can do without listening to it. And then we're gonna jump straight into it as well, which also is Nika singing. All right, it took like a 15-minute break maybe, but I'm feeling good. I'm feeling good. I just wanna get going. I really wanna get going on it as well. That way I can try to get this done here in the next hour and then move on to the next one and then I can be done by like early afternoon. That'd be legit. Let's go! La-di-da-di-da! And just like that, we got It As Well, first draft mix. That took 35 minutes. This is actually outrageous. I will say, doing these heavier cinematic, just really orchestral mixes, in my opinion, take a lot less time than doing the more cinematic pop stuff that I do. So on my Nathan James Larsen project, which is the project that you can go stream right now, this one I'm working on right now is not out yet. If you go listen to more of the cinematic alternative pop stuff that I do, that takes significantly longer to mix. The vocal mixes are harder, the drum mix are harder. I mean, just everything is harder when it comes to that style of music. What I'm noticing is that the way that I produced these instrumentals, there's so little I have to do, because the sounds are so incredible. And that's not me, that's just the sounds themselves. I'm not saying I just made it sound so incredible. I'm just talking about the sound libraries, everything already sounds mixed when you're doing these types of productions if you're using really high quality instruments. And I had created a template when I was producing everything, so everything sounds cohesive. So basically, once I got that first mix done, every mix since then is taking less and less time for me to accomplish because I really can base everything off of that. And using the Metric AB plugin has been really helpful to basically be able to reference very quickly with the flip of a switch to be able to tell where things are sitting compared to other songs. It is about 11:30 in the morning. I'm gonna take another breather here, rest my ears, recalibrate. We'll come back and we're gonna start Amazing Grace, which is featuring a different vocalist. Her name is Rin. So I'm gonna have to create a new vocal chain for her, and then I'm gonna save that as a preset similar to what I did with Nika, and then we'll just be able to crush all the rest of this. Let's go. Okay, took a bit of a break. We're gonna start the third song. This is so funny. I keep thinking that I'm at a certain point, and I think this is the thing when you work on a record that's 12 songs. There are certain things that you're like, oh yeah, that's done, and then it's not actually done. I was wanting to start Amazing Grace, but then realized I haven't tuned the vocals yet. I've tuned the lead vocals, but not the backup vocals. So, I'm gonna go on to How Great Thou Art. Still has Rin singing on it, so I'm just gonna change the song, and then once I'm done with this, I'm gonna tune those vocals, and then tomorrow I will start with Amazing Grace. So I've already got this session pulled up. I got to color code and organize, get this all ready to go. Let's see how fast we can do this one. Let's do it.
My soul, my Savior, God to thee.
Day 2 is in the books. I'm fried. I just finished a first draft mix on How Great Thou Art. We are literally halfway there. 6 of the 12 down in just 2 days. Let's go. I'm gonna come back tomorrow. I'm gonna hit it super hard. I already have changes I know I wanna make on some of the other mixes, so I might start circling back on those. That was really corporate sounding. Circle back on. Let me circle back on that with you. That was really dumb. And then I will just press on along. See you then. It is day 3, and so far the last 2 days I've done 3 mixes each day. But today I'm gonna go for at least 4 mixes done today. Usually mixes take about 2 hours per song for me, so I was kind of estimating it'd be like 6 hours total each day of mixing, and every mix is taking under an hour, so that's like half the time. And now that I have the vocal presets and I also have some references from the other songs that I'm doing on this same album, it's just gonna keep going faster. So I don't really see any reason why I can't finish 4 today, if not more. And that would actually leave it so that tomorrow the only mixes I would have left are the instrumental overture, which is basically an introduction, it's a 2-minute intro song, and then the reprise at the end, which is another like 2-minute long song. And each of those I probably could get done by early morning. So tomorrow will be a light day work-wise, music-wise, and then I can spend the rest of the day on video work. Let's get going! I got Amazing Grace tuned last night. So we're gonna start there. Let's do it. So I have Amazing Grace pulled up. I've got the mix session ready to go. Let's do this. Alrighty, we got Amazing Grace mixed. We're trucking along. Like that took like 35 minutes to do. I'm gonna take a little bit of a breather and then we're gonna come and we are gonna knock out In Christ Alone. We are rocking and rolling. We're gonna do this. I think that we could definitely get 3 more done today. I'm just gonna keep just steamrolling through this. And even if I only get 90% done on some of these and have to revisit them tomorrow to update them, I at least wanna get them pretty much all the way there as much as possible. I think this is gonna be possible. Let's do it. I'll be back in a minute. All right, we are back and I took a break, got some breakfast, and we have the next one open. This is In Christ Alone. We're gonna do it. Let's just start. No talking. Let's go.
No guilt in life, no fear in death. This is the power of Christ in me. From life's first cry to find.
Look at that. We are bouncing that guy out. Let's go. So that is mix number 2 today, and it is not even 11 o'clock in the morning. So that one took a little longer. That one took like right at an hour. There was a lot more work I needed to do on this one. It sounds so good. I'm gonna have to go back to one of the other ones that I sang and kind of modify my vocal based on this one, because the way I compressed my vocal on this one I liked better. So if there's one thing when you're doing an album is that as you go, you might kind of tweak some things and you need to go back and like adjust. So I'm gonna have to go back and adjust, and that'll either be later today or tomorrow morning or at some point. And of course, next week I'm gonna re-listen everything on Monday all the way through to make sure everything's ready for mastering. And there might be some final little tweaks here and there, but my plan is to be pretty much entirely done by tomorrow. 2 more to go. I'm gonna take a little bit of a breather here, rest my ear. My ears are, I can definitely tell my ears are dull. Okay, we took a break. It is time to work on track number 3 today. And I had this crazy idea. Like, what if I actually got a first draft mix on all the rest of the songs today? Like, what if I did that? Could I do that? Maybe. I don't know. It's not even noon yet. And we're starting on another one. So I've got the next one pulled up. This is When I Survey the Wonders Cross. So I'm gonna see if I can knock this mix out in the next 30 minutes to an hour. And then we're gonna literally just take a break, maybe 15, 20 minutes, and then we're gonna just jump straight into the next one. Oh my gosh, we are doing this. I'm exporting this mix right now. It's absolutely bizarre. 25 minutes? This is the thing. Making the presets for the vocals saves a ridiculous amount of time. I'm not even kidding you. I'm actually baffled. I thought this was gonna take 2 to 3 times as long to mix this album. I'm so stoked. I am so stoked. Okay, so it is 12:10. It's like, the day's like only half over. This is absolutely bonkers. But I am watching my kiddos at 4 o'clock, so I have 4 more hours basically that I can do stuff. Crazy. So I'm gonna take a break. While I'm just kind of resting, I'm gonna pull up the next session, at least print everything to audio and just prep the whole session. That way that's all done. Ridiculous. Let's go. All right, we are back at it. It is almost 1 o'clock in the afternoon. There it is. We're ready to go. 47 tracks on this one. Now, there is only a single lead vocal on this, so I think this should actually go even faster than the other ones because I'm not dealing with harmonies or, gang vocals or anything. So it's literally just a single vocal, which is great. And I took a listen to it and it already sounds really good. So I think this one will probably be one of the faster ones. If I can finish this in the next 30 minutes to an hour, I am probably just gonna go ahead and finish this whole album today. Because the other 2 songs are gonna be so fast. That's nuts, 6 songs in one day. Let's do it!
This river's depths I cannot know, but I can glory in its blood, the Lord Most High.
Unbelievable. 27 minutes. That took 27 minutes. That was actually a little bit harder than I thought it was gonna be. Getting the vocal to sit right was a little bit trickier. Again, a crazy amount of automation, but that's just how it goes. It is 1:15. Y'all, I'm gonna finish this whole album today. 12 songs in 3 days? What? I thought I was all like 12 songs in 4. 12 songs in 3 days. Man, I'm just on a roll with it too. Like, dang. I'm gonna take a breather. I'm gonna go and open up the next one. Let's keep going. I just pulled up the second to last song that I'm gonna mix. And this song is the first song on the album, and it was the first one that I produced almost 4 months ago. This project has been almost 4 months. There it is. This is an instrumental. If you want to hear more about this project, I've been talking about it a lot during my weekly episodes, so you can watch the previous episodes to get all caught up. But this is an overture, which means it's introducing thematic material that you hear throughout the entire album. And I just pulled it up and listened to it, and I got really emotional because I've never spent so long on a project. 4 months on this. It's been intense. I feel like I just eat, sleep, drink this project, and that's my life. And to have it come to a close, I just realized this week that I can start thinking about the next album on this artist project, and it really hit me hard because I already know what I'm gonna do, but it's kind of a secret, so I'm not telling you right now. See if I can mix this thing. Let's load it up. Gosh, want to see how long we've been recording? Can you see that? 16 and a half minutes. That's how long it took, 16 and a half minutes. To mix. It sounds incredible. It sounds so good. One more. I'm gonna pull it up, prep it, everything. Crazy. Okay, the very last song that I have to mix, I realized I'm actually still waiting on one more vocal stem that I should be getting either today or tomorrow. So I'm not gonna be able to get the vocals mixed on this one, but I will be able to get the instrumental mix. So basically what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna get the instrumental hitting really hard, and the vocalist I'm waiting on, I already have a preset made for, so I should be able to just drop it in and we'll be able to knock that out. So I'm just gonna get the instrumental mix on this, at least get the session all ready to go, and then once I get that vocal, I'll just knock it out, and that should only take 15 to 20 minutes to do. do. So I'm gonna rock and roll on this here in just a little bit. I just pulled this up, so my ears are still kind of needing a breather, but we'll still get the instrumental done today. You know what's crazy is how I was saying I was missing vocals for the last song from one other person, and what's hilarious is I literally just got the download link for those vocals like 30 minutes after I recorded that. So I'm gonna download those, quickly tune them, get everything sat in there, and then I'm gonna mix this track. We're gonna get it done. Let's go! All right, so I think tomorrow I'm gonna need to revisit this one for sure. My ears are definitely not all the way there, but wow. This came together so fast. I cannot believe it. I mean, it's like 95% done. I think there's just some of the stuff with the vocals. I need to make sure I got the vocals really sitting where they need to be, but doggone crazy. Not even 4 o'clock in the afternoon. We knocked out literally 5.5, we'll call it 5.5, basically 6 mixes today. So the question is tomorrow, am I gonna like any of them? We'll see. We'll be back then. All right, it is day 4 of mixing this album. We are 95% of the way there. I went out with a buddy this morning for breakfast and listened to about half the album in the truck, and man, it sounds great. It sounds really good. There's only a few things I think I need to change on the songs that I've listened to so far. So my plan for the day is to listen through the entire album a couple times and make notes just on my laptop to figure out what things need to be different. So far, pretty much everything I'm hearing that needs to be changed is just volume stuff. Like one song, the vocals may be pushed a little bit more than the other songs, so I need to just make sure that the vocals are all sitting in the same spot, or one song, the drums aren't hitting quite as hard as other songs. So it's mostly balance, making sure everything sounds cohesive. So really at this point, I'm happy with the mixes. It's just a matter of making sure that everything sounds really cohesive from start to finish for the whole album. So let's do it. I just got back from listening to the entire album, start to finish. It sounds incredible. I literally only have notes on a few, but I think about half of them, I just check, and the changes that I have on the others are really simple. So I'm gonna spend the next probably hour just knocking out these changes, and then we are literally done, and then next week I'll master, and then we're done. Let's go.
And I spent here only about 30 minutes going through all these changes, and we were done.
Oh my gosh, just like that, we're done. I had a minute there where I thought it was gonna be 3 days that I would get this whole thing done, but it ended up being 4, which is fine. That's what I thought it was gonna be, it's 4. I was like, I'm gonna get it done early. Anyway, just got all these changes made. 35 minutes to do all the changes. Like literally, like every song was like maybe, there were multiple songs that didn't have any notes, and then the ones that did have notes, it was like 2, maybe 3 notes per song, and each one only took like a few minutes. So 35 minutes, but that's including exporting and all the waiting that happens in between there. So probably like literally 20 minutes or 15 minutes of total time spent finishing. We are done. We did it. So there you go. Mixed a whole record in only 4 days. We'll see you in the next one.
Opening up another can of worms, try to explain how